Hello and welcome back. In this original Black Excellist presentation, we will highlight the 10 cities that Black people are fleeing from and the 10 cities they are moving to.
Welcome to blackexcellist.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
In the year 1900, nearly 90% of all Black Americans lived in the South. But for the next 50 years that followed, more than 6 million of them started moving to the North and Midwest, desperate to escape Jim Crow laws and segregation, and they were in search of the other big attraction: jobs. This would form one of the largest migration patterns in U.S. history, called the Great Migration. Fast forward a few decades, and the initial benefits of the Great Migration have given way in most degrees to a stinging failure. The big urban centers have betrayed the Black American, who was simply looking for better opportunities for themselves and their families. Big cities have become the epicenter of crimes and violence, high unemployment rates, deplorable public education systems, lack of affordable housing, skyrocketing rents, corrupt leadership, and urban decay. Better opportunities and lifestyle are the reasons Black Americans left the South at the beginning of the 20th century, and these are the same reasons why Black Americans are returning back and even branching out west. The current pattern that we are now witnessing is a reversal of the Great Migration. We are currently in the age of the Black Exodus. The 2020 census data underscored the Black Exodus and proved that the vast majority of the nation's largest cities with the highest Black population are experiencing a dramatic and steady population decline. Black residents are fleeing these cities, and this trend of sharp population declines is not showing any signs of letting up. In this exclusive Black Excellist presentation, we will highlight, in no particular order, the top 10 cities that Black America is leaving and the top 10 cities that Black residents are moving to. So without further ado, let's get started. The top 10 cities that are feeling the biggest impact of the Black Exodus are: number 1, Chicago. Chicago has been experiencing a Black exodus in recent years because African Americans are leaving for lower housing costs and safer neighborhoods. Illinois and the Rust Belt has suffered massive losses in the manufacturing sector, causing so many people to leave that Illinois lost a seat in Congress. Number 2, Los Angeles. California's population growth hit a record low over the past decade. Increasingly more people are saying high taxes, high cost of living, and even politics are making them leave. Number 3, Detroit. African Americans are moving to suburban communities with affordable housing and good schools. Many are not finding job opportunities due to the struggling automotive industry and plant closures. Number 4, St. Louis. Part of what's driving Blacks out of the city is the low quality of life. African Americans are looking for better access to schools, better access to job opportunities, and better access to resources. Number 5, Cleveland. Like much of the Midwest, Cleveland's economy is suffering from the massive and traumatic deindustrialization of its manufacturing sector. Many are fleeing for new jobs, and the older population is looking for cheaper places to retire. Number 6, Jackson, Mississippi. Young people in search of high-quality education, high-paying jobs, or more fulfilling lifestyles are leaving Jackson in droves. It is very difficult for them to attract large companies, and thus a challenge to retain their young talent. Number 7, Milwaukee. Many people are choosing to leave Milwaukee because of the burdens of high taxes, small job market, and its brutal winter climate. More and more of its residents are choosing other states with warmer climates and better job opportunities. Number 8, Baltimore. There are quite a few factors driving the population decline in Baltimore. Chief among them are high crime rates, inefficient city government, urban decay, and low economic opportunities. Number 9, New York and Newark. People aren't leaving the Northeast metro areas because of the weather. It's a number of things. You name it. The high cost of living, lack of affordable housing, poor job growth, high crime rates, poor education systems, and just an overall low quality of life. Number 10, Philadelphia. As part of the tri-state area, Philly is suffering a population decline due to the same reasons as New York and Newark. Black America is leaving for better job opportunities, safer neighborhoods, and lower cost of living. The South and the Southwest now represent the greatest potential for achievement for Black America, and the momentum is evident in sheer numbers. The urban renaissance that was once sweeping the country, resulting in a population boom in these metros, has now come to an end. Today, young Black professionals and middle-class Black families have more resources, flexibility, and mobility to move to the suburbs and different destinations to an extent that previous Black generations could not. And they are looking for cities offering wider career opportunities, larger homes, top-rated education systems, family-friendly environments, entrepreneurial incentives, lower taxes, and family-friendly neighborhoods. A high quality of life and low cost of living is the constant allure of Black America. But the question is, where are Black residents migrating to? What are these new cities that we are now calling home? Number 1, Atlanta, Georgia. The demographics of Georgia are dramatically changing due to the fact that Metro Atlanta has become the epicenter of the reversal of the Great Migration. Black Americans are migrating from cities like Detroit, New York, and Philadelphia for a better quality of life and a cheaper cost of living. Metro Atlanta experienced a growth of 335,000 new Black residents who moved to the area in the past 10 years. This was an impressive growth spurt of 20% of its African American population. Atlanta's Black population is now over 2 million Black residents for the first time ever. Atlanta's growth is driven by none other than jobs, and it's also a plus when you're Black America's mecca for culture and entertainment. With over 800,000 new residents of all races that moved to the area in the past decade, it's no wonder the A-Town is the 9th largest metro area in the country. Number 2, Houston, Texas. New migration trends show that residents are opting out of Western destinations like Los Angeles and San Francisco and are settling into Texas. The Houston metro area saw a growth of almost 213,000 new Black residents who moved to the area since 2010. This represented a stellar 21% jump in the number of additional African Americans who chose to call Houston home, bringing its Black population to over 1.2 million. The Bayou City's economy is strengthened by its job growth in the energy, healthcare, and construction. Houston added more than 1.2 million new residents of all races to its population over the past decade, the 3rd highest growth spurt among all American metros. This helps make H-Town the 5th largest metro area in the country. Number 3, Dallas, Texas. Dallas is a huge benefactor of Black Californians leaving for more affordable housing and a lower cost of living. The Dallas metro area saw a bounce of almost 256,000 new Black residents who settled into the area in the past 10 years. This represented an incredible 27% increase in the number of additional African Americans who chose to call Dallas home, bringing its Black population to almost 1.2 million people. Factors for the growth in Dallas include its low unemployment rate and diverse offering of culture, sports teams, arts, and nightlife. There were almost 1.3 million more new residents of all races that moved to Big D since 2010, making it only one of the 3 metro cities in America to add over 1 million. There are several corporations moving their headquarters to Texas for lower taxes, more business-friendly policies, and a high number of college graduates. For these reasons, we have to give honorable mention to the cities of Austin and San Antonio, who are also seeing a high influx of new Black residents. They both increased their Black population by 26% and 28% respectively. Number 4, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Black Americans are leaving Chicago in droves. They are looking for a better quality of life, lower crime, and greater employment opportunities. And the Minneapolis-St. Paul area is a Midwest alternative offering all of these. Over the past 10 years, the Minneapolis-St. Paul area saw a growth spurt of almost 95,000 new Black residents who now call the Twin Cities home. This represents a spectacular 39% jump in its African American population, bringing its Black population to over 333,000 people. Minneapolis's economy and job opportunities are far outpacing Chicago's because of its skilled workforce, family-friendly environment, and better education system. This is helping stimulate population growth 3 times faster than the Chicago area, as it can boast of having over 355,000 new residents of all races relocate there in the past decade. Number 5. Seattle, Washington. The tech industry and a strong job market plays a significant role in Seattle's growth. The Seattle metro area experienced a respectable growth of over 54,000 new Black residents who moved in the area in the past 10 years. This represents an impressive 29% jump in the number of African Americans who moved to the Emerald City, bringing its Black population to almost 240,000 people. Seattle is one of many cities in the West who saw particularly strong Black population growth, as African Americans are leaving Midwest cities like Chicago and Northeast cities in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. But this trend is for all races, as Seattle was able to increase its overall population with 580,000 new residents relocating there since 2010. Number 6. Las Vegas, Nevada. Low housing costs compared with much of California, no state income tax, and year-round sunshine make Southern Nevada an idyllic place for Black Americans to call home. The Las Vegas metro area grew its Black population by more than 80,000 new residents over the past 10 years. The fact that Las Vegas has the highest Black population growth rate of all the metros on this list came as a complete surprise to us. Las Vegas experienced a 41% jump in the number of African Americans who now call the casino capital home, bringing its total Black population to over 275,000 people. Las Vegas, being the gambling capital of the world with its ever-growing tourism industry, provides an abundance of jobs for Black residents moving out of California. Sin City is one of the fastest-growing cities in America and added almost 315,000 new residents to its population in the past decade. Number 7. Orlando, Florida. Orlando's growth rate is one of the fastest of the 30 largest U.S. cities, and the Orlando region is welcoming more than 1,000 new residents a week. Black residents migrating to Orlando are young and college educated. A large segment of them are coming down from Detroit, New York, New Jersey, and slow growth states. The Orlando metro area saw a growth spurt of 67,000 new Black residents move to the area in the past 10 years. That represents an impressive 21% bounce of new African Americans who have moved to O-Town, bringing its Black population to over 385,000 people. What may be surprising is that these are not just snowbirds from the Northeast. Almost half of Orlando's new residents are working age and diverse, giving Orlando one of the youngest median ages in the state. Over 538,000 new residents of all races have moved to Orlando in the past decade, making it one of America's fastest-growing cities. Number 8. Phoenix, Arizona. Arizona's desert capital grew at the fastest rate among all America's biggest cities, vaulting it ahead of Philadelphia to officially become the 5th biggest city in the United States. Middle-class Black families from California and other more expensive parts of the country are finding Phoenix highly attractive due to its affordable housing. The Phoenix metro area saw a growth of over 72,000 new Black residents who moved to the area in the past 10 years. Phoenix experienced a scorching 37% increase in the number of African Americans who now call Valley of Sun home, bringing its Black population to almost 266,000 people. Also known as Buckeye, the city expects to remain a high-growth community fueled not just by immigration and sun-seeking retirees, but also by the arrival of tech companies. Buckeye added more than 653,000 new residents over the past decade. Number 9. Columbus, Ohio. Kudos to Columbus, who makes a surprising appearance on this list. Columbus is the new Midwestern star, the second biggest city in the Midwest behind Chicago. as African Americans are fleeing the latter, along with their exodus from nearby Cleveland, Detroit, St. Louis, and other slow-growing metros in the Midwest states. They are looking for alternatives offering high quality of life, an array of urban amenities, and affordable housing. Given its advantages in these areas, Columbus has been able to fulfill the need of an additional 60,000 new Black residents who have moved to the area in the past 10 years. This represents an eye-opening 22% increase in African Americans who moved to the Discovery City, bringing its Black population to over 330,000 people. Columbus has been able to excel despite decades of deindustrialization that has handicapped the rest of the Midwest. For this reason, it has been able to add almost 237,000 new residents of all races to its population in the past decade. Number 10. Charlotte, North Carolina. The presence of colleges, ease of living, and relatively low costs compared to larger metro areas are what attracts many African Americans to Charlotte. As Black Americans migrate from New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Detroit, they may not want to go as far south as Florida, and Atlanta is just not their vibe. So the cosmopolitan of Charlotte is a great compromise and midway point. Charlotte has become the new home of almost 83,000 Black residents over the past 10 years. This represents a respectable 17% increase in the number of African Americans who moved to the Charlotte area, bringing its Black population to over 572,000 people. Charlotte's sense of community makes it an excellent place for any business, family, or individual to call home. As the number 2 banking center and a magnet for young professionals, the Queen City has attracted over 416,000 new residents of all races to its population in the past decade.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us until the end. Thank you for spending time with us, and don't forget to like this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a video. Bye for now. We will see you tomorrow.